specifically the police and fire department, the town administrator update. Action items will include consideration and possible action on the fire chief's contract, consideration and possible action to appoint new part-time on-call firefighters, consideration and possible action to accept the donation from Country Bank in the amount of $2,000, consideration and possible action to reappoint Kelly Emmerich to the Community Preservation Committee, consideration and possible action on ratifying the action of a transient vendor application for the Sturbridge Fine Arms Newmart Promotions for a show at the Sturbridge Host Hotel, consideration and possible action on the ABC Commission's seasonal population increase estimation for 2025, consideration and possible action on the Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission's renewal certification licenses who failed to renew for 2025, Stonewall Grill license number 05242-RS-1248, old business, new business, correspondence, approval of minutes, and adjournment. With that, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I'd also just like everybody take a moment of silence and consider, first of all, those affected by the cold weather here, and similarly to the large storms going through the South and Midwest. So please just take a moment of silence. Thank you. For Robin, starting with you, I think we have an announcement before the public service announcement.
We have an announcement before. I'd like to introduce Francis Wojcicki, who is our new secretary to the Select Board and to me. And Michelle and Elisa have been doing a tremendous job breaking her in. She had a crash course today, nothing like starting on a Monday of a selectman meeting on top of it. She comes to us with experience in this exact position in another community. She's also worked in higher education and academia, and she worked for the Worcester Public Schools as well, which we know can be pretty high-paced. So we welcome Frances today, and we look forward to having her here with us for a while.
Welcome aboard. All right, with that, public service announcements. Mary Lou?
I just want to say that the Santa ride was well received, and it was very, 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 very cold.
I saw you out the window and you look cold.
Great. Chase?
I have none, thank you.
Mary Dowling?
Just happy, healthy New Year to everybody and God's blessings.
No, ditto to Mary.
Yeah, I will say the same. Happy New Year to everybody. So I'm going to take things a little out of order. I'm going to go to action item B, which is consideration and possible action to appoint new part-time on-call firefighters, Matthew Phillips, Nicholas Coloni, if I'm saying it correctly, I apologize, Christopher Tyler, David Tetrault, Joseph Roderick, and Christian Tinker. All right, Chief, how are you tonight?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I present before you tonight the following individuals and a little bit about them. Matthew Phillips, to my left, to your right. Matthew is a Pro Board certified firefighter 1 and 2 with over 14 years of service in the fire experience in the fire service. Next to him is Nicholas Calangione. Nick is also Pro Board certified firefighter 1 and 2, and he is an Eagle Scout out of Troop 161. Next to him is Christopher Tyler. Christopher is certified to the level of firefighter 1 and currently works as a physician's assistant. He has over 15 years of experience in the fire service. David Tatro. David is a nationally registered EMT and is currently enrolled in paramedic school. He's been in the fire service for more than 4 years and currently serves as an on-call lieutenant in the town of Holland. Joseph Roderick. Joseph graduated from Tantascwa in June of 2024. He was a student in our inaugural Introduction to the Fire Service program at the school, and he is also an Eagle Scout out of Troop 161. And last but not least, Christian Tinker. Christian is a Sturbridge resident and plans to attend EMT school in 2025, in addition to becoming a certified firefighter. So these individuals all went through a series of interviews. The first round was with 3 captains from area departments, and then a second interview with the deputy chief and myself. All of them performed very well. The answers to their questions were very appropriate, and some of them were very impressive. So I present these individuals to you and ask that you appoint them to the position of on-call part-time firefighter at a rate consistent with the collective bargaining agreement that is currently in place.
Great.
And the appointment will be effective tomorrow.
Okay. All right, so that's the 7th. All right, questions from the board?
Chief, will they all be, do you have plans for them to all become 1-2 certified?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They will go through an extended in-house orientation period, and as long as they complete that satisfactorily, they will be scheduled to go to a Call-Vol Academy.
Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, do we have a motion? Okay, sorry.
Just wondering if they had any questions for the board. No?
I knew that, that's. So, all right, so do we have a motion now?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we appoint the new part-time / on-call firefighters Matthew Phillips, Nicholas Colangione, Christopher Tyler, David Tatro, Joseph Roderick, and Christian Tinker.
Second.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
just Adam, Joseph Roderick, it's 3rd generation in the department.
That's great. All right, with that, I think we had a second.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor? All right, the ayes have it.
This is,
1 second, I think select person Dowling had something she wanted to say.
I was just gonna say, we've had this need for a long time, so it's really good to see it filled.
I remember when you were born. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Oh, we got some firm handshakes. Congratulations. Awesome. Well, that's,
Yep, we're checking out right now to see if you can be sworn tonight. Congratulations. Sure, absolutely. Congratulations. 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 Yeah.
Do you mind them actually just standing behind you guys?
No.
Go, so go stand behind them, we're gonna take a picture of all you guys.
Oh,
all we have to say.
Duck.
yeah, don't get fresh.
Chief, Michelle's checking to see if they can be sworn tonight. Actually, formalize it tonight.
All right, smile. Happy, there we go.
All right.
Congratulations,
Yeah, you can say. All right. Well, should, actually,
Yeah,
let's-
Michelle's gonna come back up and we'll let them know.
what's that?
Michelle's gonna come back up and let them know if they can be sworn
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
So,
Yep, but we can move.
all right, great. Chief, why don't we go to your department report?
Sure. You should have November and December reports in your packet. I do want to highlight some of the year-end numbers for 2024. In 2024, we responded to 2,389 calls for service. Of those 2,389, 1,554 were EMS calls, 835 were fire and miscellaneous calls. Of those 835, there were 12 structure fires, 13 vehicle fires, 23 brush fires, 5 extrication calls, 2 water/ice rescues, 40 hazardous materials calls, and 232 public assistance good intent calls, among other calls, but those are the highlights that I wanted to bring forward to you. As Selectman Volpe mentioned, the Santa Run was a huge success again this year. I want to thank both Santa and Mrs. Claus for their participation. It was extremely cold that day, and they braved it the entire day. So kudos to both of them for helping us and doing that.
And they're used to the North Pole.
They are, they are. I think we made a lot of people happy on that day, so. that's all I have to report.
Oh, excellent. All right, so I think, why don't we move to the chief, police chief?
All right, with, what's your questions?
Busy
Oh,
year,
we have
Chief.
questions? I'm sorry.
No?
I didn't think so.
Oh, okay.
Chief, you want to come up?
I have September, October, November. I'll go through it fairly quickly. September, we answered 2,867 calls. We had 71 arrests / criminal complaints. 5 of those were OUIs, 1 drug arrest. We took 36 incident reports, had 23 reportable motor vehicle crashes, issued 209 citations or warnings, assisted 58 motorists, responded to 64 alarms, 600 business checks, served 11 restraining orders, went to 16 domestic disturbances. We had 7 B&Es or / larcenies. We had to request mutual aid 7 times, and we responded out of town once for mutual aid. Some operations that stand out here. Lieutenant Lombardi, Sergeant Payne, and Officer Crevier attended an event on the common with the seniors for, with serving hot dogs. Myself, along with Lieutenant Lombardi and Sergeant Payne, attended a Zoom meeting with the head executive board of Pilot Truck Stop regarding the traffic complaints that we get up there. That's still in the works. We're trying to brainstorm, come up with some ideas of how we can move traffic in and out of there, besides just assigning a police officer up there, so that's in the works. 2 motor vehicle accidents between Walmart Plaza and Extra Mart. There was no injuries. Installed 2 child safety seats. We did boat patrols on Long Pond, Big Allen, South Pond, where 17 inspections were conducted. For training, one of the highlights was Officer Merkel attended the last phase of crash reconstruction, so he's officially a reconstructionist, which is a total of 6 weeks of training, but they break it up into 3 different sections, so he completed that. That was good for the department. Schools. Burgess Elementary, we had 1 911 abandoned call, nothing reported there. SRO doing admin work. Suspicious activity, it was unfounded. The kids were running in the road. We couldn't locate them. We had an alarm at the junior high school. 2 investigations. One was a 209A investigation, and the other one was just a concerned parent regarding a social media post. We had a child in need of services up there that was section 12. We had a domestic dispute in the parking lot between 2 parents. Our SROs gave a vape class, some threats. That was a bullying incident, and we had an altercation between 2 students. That's it for September.
Any questions on September? Okay.
All right, moving on. October, 2,844 calls, 59 arrests / criminal complaints, 1 OUI arrest, 2 drug arrests, 62 incident reports. Motor vehicle accidents were 29, citations were 171, 55 motorist assist, 62 alarm calls, 588 business / house checks, 5 restraining orders, 11 domestic disturbances, 17 either B&Es, larceny, or thefts. We requested mutual aid 18 times, and we responded out of town 0 times for October. Operations, nothing unusual to report, or actually we do. We had a trunk or treat at Old Sturbridge Village, and we had a successful night of trick-or-treating throughout the town. There were 2 motor vehicle accidents between Walmart Plaza and Extra Mart with 1 injury. We did 5 child safety seats that were installed. And for training, a highlight would be Sergeant Payne attended the mid-management school at Roger Williams University, which was a week-long management school. And for the schools, suspicious activity at Burgess, we had 2 ambulance calls, 1 administrative call. Suspicious activity, which was some kids practicing hockey that somebody thought was suspicious. They were up on the during off hours. They were just moved along. Lost and found, somebody found a wallet at the junior high that was returned. The suspicious activity you see at the junior high was just a flat tire. They thought it might have been some type of vandalism. It was not. There was obviously, they hit a curb or something. There was damage to the vehicle. Assault and battery, it took place on a bus. There was an arrest pulled out of that. An investigation was a threat to the school. That was investigated and deemed not credible. We had another Section 12 and an ambulance call. The high school, we had a call that the ramp on one of the small buses wasn't working to let the special needs students off, so we went up there with the fire department, assisted getting the students off the bus. Two ambulance calls, one disturbance. A juvenile was just chasing another juvenile, throwing stuff at him. Assist a citizen. Parties were a little loud at one of the games on the visiting team, so we just quieted them down. Investigation, there was another threat that was deemed uncredible, another Section 12, and then a trespassing incident at a football game. And once he was told he was trespassed, they left without incident. That's it for October.
Great. Any questions on October? All right.
All right. Up to November. 2,937 calls for service, which brings us up to 27,642 calls for the year. We had 50 arrests/complaints, 2 OUI, 2 drugs. Incident reports were 43, 37 motor vehicle accidents, 197 citations or warnings issued, assisted motorists 58 times, responded to 49 alarms. We did 638 business/house checks, served 12 restraining orders, went to 7 domestic violence calls, had 8 B&E/larcenies or thefts. We requested mutual aid 12 times, and we responded out of town 3 times to help out. We had the road race on November 9th, where we had several officers for the veterans race. That was very successful for operations. We had 6 motor vehicle accidents between the Walmart Plaza and the Extra Mart with 0 injuries. 6 child seat installs. And there were no boat patrols. Another good training that we sent Officer Matt Erosion, which is our SRO, to New Hampshire to attend DARE class. They're bringing that back, so that was a 2-week course. So he graduated from that course. And we'll send our Officer Taitula to Hartford. They got one coming up too, so he'll be going as well. Burgess Elementary School. Assisted Burgess staff with getting a student to school that was to assist other agency. They were having a problem getting a kid to come to school. Assisted for the assistant citizen group. A young student on the bus was being aggressive. We assisted them with our Comfort K9. Took care of that. K9 call out at Burgess Elementary School. There was some drug contraband located near the school. We deployed our narcotics dog just to check the area, make sure there was nothing else around, which there wasn't. Junior high, the missing runaway, that was a student in bike club that just got lost in the woods. He was located within 30 minutes. We had an ambulance call, 911. The assist citizen group was a dispute that was taken care of, a verbal dispute. Missing child was a child that was with another parent, and the parent didn't know that they were with the other one. We had a sex offense that took place. For the investigation, that was a Snapchat incident, 2 of them actually, 2 different Snapchat incidents involving threats or bullying that were being investigated. Accidental 911, then 2 students were fighting. I believe it was in the cafeteria, and that was the assault and battery.
All right, questions on November for the chief?
You guys are too easy.
I just had one, I just had a quick question.
Is that too soon?
No, this is it's just pure curiosity. I noticed the number of citations has gone down quite a bit. Is that because people are driving more carefully, or we don't have
No,
as
I
many?
would relate that to officers are tied up on other calls. So if they're tied up on other calls, they're not stopping cars.
Okay.
So if they're getting busy doing something else, the traffic enforcement is mainly done when their officers aren't doing anything, or they're in between calls. They're out there doing traffic enforcement. So that can go up or down depending if people are out sick, people are in, or we've got more extra staff, and if there's extra staff, there's somebody's assigned to a traffic car to do traffic. So usually if you see the traffic going down, numbers are really hard to pinpoint why or what happens, but generally it's because they're doing something else. They're tied up on reports or doing something else. So if they're busy on investigations, the traffic stops will go down, the citations.
I thought they were just being nice.
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
down.
You're right, that's it.
Oh, 2024 is down like 450 compared to 2023,
Yeah.
so
So,
I
yeah,
guess
and-
you're busier with more, I
Yeah,
don't
we're-
want to say
we're-
more important things, but other things.
Yeah, definitely would be busier with other things. But also, just to note that, like, we had one officer that was out for 12 weeks. His family, he had a baby. So when you're, now you're down staffing, another officer was out for surgery. So we had officers that were not present. So when those officers go away and they're not on the road, those people that normally are out there writing citations or issuing warnings, they're not getting done because the staffing's not there too. So there's a bunch of different things that play into it.
Makes sense. All right, anything else for the chief? All right, chief, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy New
you.
Year to y'all.
All right, Robin,
Just one, I didn't put a memo together just with the holidays, there really wasn't that much to add to things. But I do want to make everybody aware, the podunk tree project continues. Jean Boubon has been working very closely with National Grid and their Arbor Department. February 10th will be a public hearing. There will be plenty of notification. Abutters will all be notified. If those neighbors see activity in the neighborhood and any markings of trees, do not panic. It doesn't mean they're coming down. That's part of the protocol to get ready for this public hearing. So I just want people to be aware, they may see activity out there. It does not mean that anything is progressing. If they have concerns that something is progressing that shouldn't, and it's more than just marking of the trees, please call me. But at this point, this is all part of the process. So it's in the planning phase now. It's sort of across the street. And again, February 10th will be the public hearing.
okay, great.
That on the website?
That will all be, it'll be formally posted, but, and abutters notices and newspaper ads are going out, I think, within the week, because it's a 30-day notice, and then we'll put everything out publicly as well, on Facebook and all sorts of places.
February 10.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
All right, great. So moving on to action item A, consideration and possible action on the fire chief's contract. Come on down, chief.
So as you all know, you voted in executive session to look at some of those changes, those discussions that would be pertinent to executive session, and we officially move forward the contract publicly. I'm grateful for the support of the board in that executive session to be able to move this forward. I look forward to a continued relationship with the chief. We've seen so many positive things in the past couple of years in the department, morale, contracts being settled, and generally just a positive feel from the department. And so I look forward to a continued rapport with our chief, and our deputy chief is here as well, so we have a good team there, and I'm excited to have this finalized.
And just for the people at home, could you just run through just quick highlight?
Yeah, generally, it's a 3-year contract. The major change, there's no real change or adjustment in salary other than routine COLAs that any other salaried employee is getting. There's a bit of an acknowledgement of educational credit that had not prior been in that contract. I don't believe you had any educational funding or any educational stipend. And that's probably the biggest adjustment from a financial situation. There's parity, I believe, with the police chief on vacation days. Those are the primary changes. The fiscal impact really is more on the education than anything else, and it puts our fire chief on par financially with other fire chiefs. It brings him to the median level of other fire chiefs in several surroundings.
Great. All right, any other questions from the board?
I
Comments?
just have a comment.
Okay.
Just for somebody that has been sitting on this board for a number of years and kind of experienced when the fire department had some bigger problems, and maybe 5-6 years ago, and I just so thrilled that the chief and the firefighters and the union were able to come together to make a stronger department. And, I fully support this contract. It also gives them some job security, which is, I think, appropriate, so.
That's great. I would note that does sort of time up with Mary Lou leaving the department, but.
That's how the trouble ended.
No, I'm just kidding.
You're lucky you sit over there.
Yeah, I know, but
Want me to get him?
yeah, foolishness aside, I second Mary's comments. This isn't an easy, it's a small town, but it's a busy department, and being at the connection point of two major highways and on an interstate line is not an easy job, and we appreciate your service, chief, and you too, deputy chief. So, anything else from the board?
No, I just want to echo what Mary said. I've seen a big change and for the better, and I'm very happy with it.
That's great. All right.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we ratify the fire chief's contract.
Do we have a second?
Second?
All those in favor? All right.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Chief.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right. So, moving on to action item C, consideration and possible action to accept the donation from Country Bank of $2,000, the use of which is unrestricted. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second?
All those in favor? And of course, with thanks to them for their generosity. Please, if we could just get a letter out to them, Rob.
Yes.
And then, consideration and possible action on the reappointment of Kelly Emmerich to the Community Preservation Committee for a term to expire June 16th, 2027. Any discussion?
No.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second?
All those in favor? The ayes have it.
Okay, Robin, do we have everyone on the committee that we need?
I believe CPC is full. There seemed to be, on the website, it showed a position. There was some question on that, but I think this may be the one that was throwing it off a little bit. So I am following up on that, though, because CPC is one I don't want to have
Yeah,
not filled.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Thank you.
All right, and then moving to consideration and possible action on ratifying the action on a transient vendor application for Sturbridge Fine Arms Newmark Promotions for a show at the Sturbridge Host Hotel on January 4th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and January 5th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So this event had been scheduled somewhere, it fell through the cracks on the transient licensing. He has run this event there several years in the past. I guess he had talked to the clerk's office. They said it would get on an agenda, not giving thought to the fact that there wasn't another Monday meeting prior. So I did contact the police chief. He was comfortable with the event moving forward. It's, as you can see, I have a letter that also indicates that no firearms are loaded, and it's antiques and some traditional military firearms and whatnot. So at that point, given that he already have vendors in place, it's a long-running event. I just felt that at this point, I didn't want to pull the plug on something that the host was having that was going to bring a lot of people into town. And I appreciate your indulgence on that. This is part of the final, I think, cleanups that we are having on some of this licensing stuff.
Okay, questions or comments from the board?
The only comment I would make was I actually went down to it Saturday morning, and I could not believe the amount of people that come to Sturbridge for this. I mean, I waited in line for like 25 minutes
Yeah.
just to get in, so.
Needed a new dueling pistol?
I-
Never heard to have one of those here.
But I will say, very popular.
All right, great. So do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to ratify the action on transient vendor application for Sturbridge Fine Arms / Newmark Promotions for a show at the Sturbridge Host Hotel on January 4th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and January 5th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Ayes have it. Okay, moving on to action item F. Consideration and possible action on the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission seasonal population increase estimation for 2025 calendar year.
Okay, do you want a number? We always,
Yeah, what's the, got too many things in my pocket.
we usually do 25,000.
Yeah, we did 10 last year, an increase of 10, I believe, last year, which brought us up to, I mean, our regular population's 9,800, and then I guess an estimated increase of 10 was what we had been doing right along.
I know, we've done
Yeah.
25.
Oh, I thought we'd done 20 or 25.
Have we done, I think
I thought
20
it was
was,
25
is
too.
20 the increase, or is it 25 the increase of what we, the total population?
25 is the total.
Right, so an increase of approximately 15. Whatever you all choose to put for that
Yeah,
number
I
is,
mean,
we
it's-
can fill it out, yeah.
We haven't run into problems.
No.
No, and I think that makes sense, Mary.
So you want to do 15?
Wait,
Well, I have it at 10, right? So I have it in there for an increase of 10, for a total population of like 19,000.
I thought maybe so the increase estimation, I think we're doing 25,
Five.
because that's just been the standard. and
Okay,
it's-
Yeah.
25 total.
Yes.
Okay,
So
not an
an
increase of
increase of
25, an
Yeah.
increase of 15 then. Right,
Yeah, an increase of,
right, that's what I'm, yeah, I think that's where there's,
okay, good. So now we, that makes sense, Mark. All right, do we have a motion to increase by $15,000 to $25,000?
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, great. All right, so G, consideration and possible action on the Alcohol Beverage Control Commission renewal certification, licenses who failed to renew for 2025 Stonewall Grill.
yeah, I'm not sure I don't know that you take action on that per se.
I don't think so.
They just failed
No,
to
I think
renew.
it's just
They went out of
information.
they went out of
They went out of
business,
business.
so.
I will say that just on the heels of this, we do have about 4 or 5 licenses that you had agreed, once they complied with everything, could be released. There were several, most of those complied. We have 4 or 5 still outstanding. If by the setting of the next agenda, they have not complied, we will, if within the next, actually, we sent out a notice within the next few days, if they have not complied, we'll let them know there'll be a show cause hearing on their ability to do business.
Okay.
So I just want you to be aware of that. It's about 4. We've reached out repeatedly.
Have you made contact?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Michelle's contacted them all. There've been email chains going back and forth. Some just have to drop off a piece of paper and have not. We will make another attempt at contact and say, okay, this is it. And if, at this point, there's nothing, then we will have we will put you on a show cause hearing for January 20th, or whatever our required notice is for that.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Any questions from the board?
No.
All right, moving on. Old business. Mary Lou.
Nothing here.
All right, old business. Chase.
Nothing from me, thank you.
Mary Dowling.
I just had one question. Remember when we changed our fiscal policy to require more, or to allow more free cash? We were going to try to, I was curious about other
Comparables.
comparable communities.
Yep.
If you have any, I would like to
I
know
will
what
get those.
percentage of cash they're keeping
Yep.
as a
I
result.
apologize. I
No
will get
worries. I
those.
mean, everybody
Yep.
was busy, but I just,
Yep.
I don't know what made me think of it, but
No, I'm glad you reminded me. Yep.
no other old business.
Great. Mary Blanchard, any old business?
Yes, the cable committee.
Oh, we're due for an update. Last we talked, Al was supposed to reach out to legal counsel. Let me follow up and see if he has.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's gonna come quickly. Yeah, 2 months ago, maybe.
2 months ago?
Yep, yep.
Okay. All right, and I have no old business. New business, Mary Blanchard.
No?
Mary Dowling.
No.
Mary Chase.
No, thank you, sir.
Mary Lou.
No.
All right, and I have no new business. Correspondence, I don't think we had any, did we?
Had any?
Okay, and then approval of minutes, November 4th, 2024. Mary Lou, you were absent for this one. Any edits?
I didn't see any personally, but
It's just a typo, but I will give it to you. So as much as I want to take Jamie's job away from him, I don't, I'm kidding. It says Chair Dowling, it should just say,
where's that?
the third page.
Oh,
Says
they made you the chair?
I think
Clerk
it's the
Dowling.
fourth page at the top.
sorry.
Clerk down.
Yeah, I've got
Oh,
to
no,
get these
no,
patched.
sorry.
No, and I was just kidding, I think he does a fabulous job.
Clerk Dowling.
But it's the third page.
Third page, you're right, sorry.
It
Mary.
starts Clerk Dowling in the second paragraph, but then
Oh, there you are, Chair
halfway,
Dowling. Yeah.
you switched me to Chair,
Okay.
and I'm happily not, so.
All right, any other edits? All right, do we have a
A
motion?
motion to approve the minutes of November 5th as amended.
Fourth.
4th?
Yeah, you amended the date. November 4th as amended. I'll second. All those in favor? All right, and with one abstention, because Mary Lou was not present. All right. And this was the December 23rd, 2024 meeting with Mary Lou Chase and Mary Blanchard. Any edits to this?
I just had, I know I wasn't here, I just want to thank people, because I was celebrating Christmas in Boston. But it says on the last page, when I looked at it, that Select Person Dowling gave that Mary Lou sign on, hold on, where's the last page?
Oh, that should be Blanchard.
It should be, yes, because I wasn't here. It says I gave permission, but I think it must have been you, Mary, because I wasn't here. You see where I'm reading?
Yeah.
Oh, this was the virtual sort of.
Right.
Yeah, the one I phoned in.
Last page, Vice Chair Kabinski and Select Person, I think it should be Blanchard.
Yes.
Right, Mary?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Okay. Any other edits? All right, do we have a motion
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of December 23rd, 2024,
as amended?
as amended.
Second?
Great. All those in favor? Guys, have them.
I'll abstain because I wasn't here.
Yeah, oh yeah, I should have seen too. I got excited. All right, citizens forum? Would you like to say anything?
I'm Nancy Porter, I'm on the Finance Committee. I'm the liaison for the select board for your $3,600 of expenses. So I just thought
They're
I'd
crazy, aren't they? They're wild with that money.
At dinner money.
see if you really need that money. So, I usually watch this on, whatever the cable thing,
Sure.
whatever. I just thought I'd sit in on it.
You just waited for the coldest night?
And shortest,
I was here to see all of the firemen.
And very qualified, I might add.
Very
Oh,
excited.
very much so, yeah.
And one out of that program, which is great. Very quickly, if I could, all of the ARPA money is contracted.
Oh, great.
We got the contract for the Commons signed on the 31st.
Great.
So that got done. A little bit of a scramble. That's why there's no memo this week, because everything was about getting those solidified by the 31st.
That is so good, we
By
expected.
noon on the 31st, it was all done, so.
It was very painful with the first round of COVID money. It was so restricted. We ended up giving thousands of dollars back because we couldn't
Yeah.
use it in the way that they wanted us to. So
No, it's
that's awful when that happens.
No, you don't want to give it back. So with that, unless anybody has anything else, I think we're ready for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
second.
All those in favor?
Thank you all. Happy
Yeah,
New
it's
Year.
Happy, healthy New Year. Question.
Yeah.